The applause was still echoing when he stood up. My husband, my ex-husband, though he didn't know that yet. He straightened his tie, the same one I bought him the day our son was born, and took the microphone. His voice trembled with the kind of false humility that comes before a knife. "I just want to say how proud I am," he began, smiling at our son, then glancing toward the audience. "And, before we go on celebrating, I have an announcement to make." That pause, that arrogant, self-satisfied pause, the one I used to mistake for confidence. He continued, "After a lot of thought, I've decided to start a new chapter of my life with someone else." Gasps rippled through the room. I heard our son's sharp inhale. But I didn't move. He wasn't done. He never knew when to stop. "Her name's Lily," he said, gesturing toward his assistant, a woman half my age sitting smugly in the back. "We're leaving for Paris tomorrow. And I'll be withdrawing our joint savings this evening to start fresh." The crowd turned toward me, pity in their eyes. I smiled. Then I said, clearly, evenly, "No problem, David, but first, have a look at this." I handed him an envelope. He took it, curious, maybe a little triumphant. He thought it was another plea, another desperate note from the woman he was abandoning. He opened it, and as his eyes darted over the papers inside, his smile faltered. "We met in college. He had a way of making ordinary moments feel cinematic. Laughter in the rain, wine on rooftops, promises that sounded like forever. He said I made him feel grounded. I believed I made him better. When he proposed, he said, 'You're the safest place I've ever known.' Funny how men confuse safety with control. For 20 years, I built our life while he built his image. Every promotion, every house, every photo on the mantle, my quiet labor in the background of his success. And then, one day, he started locking his phone. It started small, late nights, canceled dinners, the faint scent of a perfume I didn't wear. Then came the slip-up. An email left open on our home computer. Subject line, Paris itinerary. Her name signed at the bottom, followed by a heart. My stomach didn't drop. My hands didn't shake. Instead, a stillness came over me, the kind that follows a storm you've already predicted. He'd made one mistake too many. I didn't confront him. I observed him. I let him think I was naive. I let him kiss me goodnight with guilt hidden behind his lips. And while he planned his escape, I planned his ruin. First, the finances. Our accounts, joint on paper, but the business assets, the house, the pension, those were protected. I'd made sure years ago, quietly transferring titles and investments into a trust under my name when he started missing anniversaries. Then the legal groundwork. I hired a forensic accountant. Every withdrawal, every unauthorized expense tied to her, documented. By the time he thought he was leaving me, he'd already signed his own financial obituary. Finally, the public part. The timing was important. The graduation, his stage, his spotlight. He'd never resist it. Back to the auditorium. He was still staring at the papers when I said, "That's the deed to the house, David. Transferred. 3 months ago." He looked up, confused. "And the bank statements you see there," I continued, calm as ever, "evidence of your unauthorized withdrawals. The lawyer you see sitting beside our son, he's been waiting for you to open that envelope." The color drained from his face. People whispered. Cameras clicked. I stepped closer, just enough for him to hear me. "By the way, Lily won't be joining you in Paris," I whispered. "HR received those photos of her and the company's married CEO weeks ago. You remember him, don't you? The one who promoted you?" He blinked. Once. Twice. Realization spreading like poison. His world, carefully curated, perfectly polished, crumbling in front of an audience he couldn't control. Our son stood up, silent, watching. And in that silence, I found my peace. He tried to speak, to save face, to regain command. But the microphone betrayed him. His voice cracked, his words stumbled. I, I didn't know. I didn't let him finish. I turned to our son and said, "Let's go, sweetheart. Your father has some adjusting to do." We walked out together. The applause from earlier had turned into murmurs, but I didn't hear them. All I heard was the steady rhythm of my heels against the floor, measured, certain, final. Later, when the lawyers called to confirm that the house, the savings, and the accounts were legally secure in my name, I didn't celebrate. There was no need. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. I sat on the porch that night, sipping the last glass of wine from the bottle he'd been saving for a special occasion. I suppose this qualified. Out there, somewhere, he was probably still trying to figure out how everything slipped from his hands. How I'd know.